Take 4. Thank you for tuning in to Mr. Cliff's Toy Shop. Today we take a look at the Take 5. Thank you for tuning in to Mr. Cliff's Toy Shop. On today's review, we take a look at the Bandai Tamashii exclusive Dragon Ball SH figuarts Son Gohan. Oh my goodness. Thank you for tuning in to Mr. Cliff's Toy Shop. On today's review, we take a look at the Bandai Tamashii's exclusive SH figuarts Dragon Ball Son Gohan. Today I'll be reviewing this figure in the following category: accessories, articulation, design, is it essential to your collection, functionality, and price. Once those scores are totaled, I'll give you my opinion if this figure is a pass or a purchase. So here's something you typically don't see on my channel, even though I collect Dragon Ball figures. Usually one of two things happen. I end up picking up the figures late, or I receive the figures, simply forget about them, and they just lie in the packaging. In my attempt to add more content to my channel, I decided why not review this. So for accessories, it looks a bit light, but he does come with a fair amount. So we get 2 head sculpts and 3 face plates. Let's take a look at the alternate head sculpt. So it has Gohan with his long hair, and it looks just like the anime spit this head sculpt out right through the television. The hair is done accurate and well. The expression is also done well. So looking at one of the face plates, you get what I'm going to call his power up face. And then you get a surprise face. This expression here really reminds me of Krillin. And then we receive 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 hands. Let's just pick up one. And the accessories for this figure are so small. These hands are so tiny. Very easy to lose. As you can see, there doesn't appear to be any paint on this. No shape to where the nails are. You receive a dragon tracker or scouter. Really like how this is done. You can see that it has some what is painted but looks like tracking components on it. And then you have a Dragon Ball that has the number or 1 dragon star on it right about there. There's a really cool feature with this. We'll get more into it for the functionality. So one of the things with the SH figuarts Dragon Ball line that I can't understand is that we don't get fireball effect pieces, which are needed with all Dragon Ball figures. So for accessories, I'm definitely going to take a few points off for not having any firing effect pieces, and I'm going to give Gohan an 8 out of 10. So for articulation, I am not sure what to expect with a figure so small. So the head is barely able to look up any, and it is a really large head. He's able to bury his head all the way down. Let me actually see something for a moment. I take that back. The head is able to look up about that much. And that's because the neck, no, it doesn't. It has a hinge. Okay. We'll talk about that more in the functionality department. It's able to, not really. So you get some pivot. It absolutely shifts back and forth a lot. So with the arm, it's able to extend out that far, which is good. It's able to rotate a full 360. You can see the shoulder pad also moves. You're able to get a turn right at this point here. Next point of rotation will be at the wrist, which is on a hinge, I think. It's actually on a ball peg. Take that back. The elbows are double jointed, bending in about that much. And you do have a butterfly joint. It actually moves forward a great amount, and it moves backwards a decent amount. So for the torso, it appears to be a lower and B portion. So just using the A, he's able to crunch forward about that much, backwards about that much. You get some good pivot as well as rotation. I may have overspoke. There doesn't appear to be an A and B portion. So with the top region of the torso, you can also pull it up. I'm assuming that's going to give him more range, especially forward. Not that big of a difference. So you do not have a waist swivel. However, the upper part does rotate somewhat, not a full 360, pretty limited, turning that much to the left, this much to the right. So now with the feet, they are able to spread apart that much. They're able to kick forward a real good amount, backwards a great amount. You do get some rotation. The knees are Double jointed, bending in about that much. Come down to the foot, you have a point of rotation there. The foot is able to go down only that much, forward that much. Barely able to pivot on the inside, though it is able to, as well as on the outside. And then you have toe articulation. Feel like I forgot something. Did we do the knees? If not, here are the knees. Is that single or double? What it bends in about that much. So just want to show another point of movement. Right here, this is able to rotate as well, allowing him to kick all the way up, all the way back. So for articulation, he moves pretty well for the small guy. The head moves well. The arms are exceptional. The torso is different. It's not bad, just different. And the legs move pretty well, of course, having some limitations with the feet. So for overall articulation, I'm going to give Gohan a 7 out of 10. So for design, Bandai did an amazing job with this small guy. He really looks like he jumps off the pages of the anime. Just jumping into what I would say initially is a missing from this figure is definitely the shading. I feel like anytime you do something anime related, just having some shading is usually necessary. Though I can't see any shading, and as I'm watching the light glimmer off of him, there appears to be something there. I'm not sure if I would say that shading. Let me just move it out of frame for a moment. Yeah, I don't think I see any shading. The paint apps are very clean. Taking a look at the purples, they're all where they need to be. The burgundy belt and the wristbands and the shoes. And I'm really digging this head sculpt. They really did a fantastic job with the head sculpt, as well as the facial expressions. I am really happy with them. The flesh tone is very pale, though I feel like this is how Dragon Ball was. They were pretty pale characters. So for overall design, they did an amazing job, and I'm going to give Gohan a 9 out of 10. So as far as being essential to your collection, I don't want this to get too complicated. I think with Dragon Ball Z, for a lot of the characters, it really depends on the arc. And with the Cell Saga in particular, there is no question that Gohan was the most essential character in that arc. This is not the Cell arc. So does that bring down the score when it comes to Gohan as far as being essential to your collection? That just gets way too complicated. The younger Gohan, which this is, had more of a prominent role within Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. I feel as he gets older, maybe he then becomes less essential to Dragon Ball. But I didn't like this Gohan. I did not like Kid Gohan. Oh, this character got on my nerves. He just cried and whined all the time. So for being essential, I am going to give Gohan a 10 out of 10. So for functionality, let's slide Gohan back for a moment and let's take a look at this head sculpt. So if you are familiar with Dragon Ball figures, you know typically you can pull the hair apart, and they did pretty well with this, but you can see the seam if you look close enough. I don't want to scratch that black, so I'm actually going to pull from the front. With that removed, you can take out the faceplate, and you can plug in one of the other interchangeable faceplates. So for this one, we will do the yelling face. Actually, no, let's save that one. For this one, let's do the surprise face, actually, which is here. Once you have that face on, you're just going to take the hair and line it up and push it back on. Then just mash it tight, and there you go. So let's put that down to the side. Let's pop this head off. So with this head off, I'm pretty sure you can do the same thing. If you look right here, you see where the hair separates. So I'm going to pull that area, which brings both the hair and the faceplate. We're going to choose to swap in this faceplate. Once you have the faceplate on, you're going to grab the hair. You're going to line up the pegs, and you're just going to push them in like so. And there you go. Let's sit this down. What I want you to take a look at is this hair. So this is why you're able to get that range within the head. It's a ball peg sort of on a hinging mechanism, which goes, is this forward? Where is the figure? Yeah, it goes forward very far. Back, not as much. And this is where I would prefer to go even further is because we want him to look up a little higher. But still a pretty good attempt of getting this to work properly. It's just that the head is so big that it really just encompasses all of the space. So once you start turning it, it's only so much room that you get. So let's pop this head back on. So I like how the shoulder pad moves, really collapsing with this, what we're going to call a butterfly joint. I like that they added this part to where you can pull the torso up, but I'm really not seeing where it gives you a lot of additional range. Right now is extended. That's as far forward as he crunches. That's as far forward as he crunches backwards. Yeah, so maybe it's just another use for it that I'm just not picking up at this time. I also like how there are separate pieces to the pants. So this piece right here moves independent of the leg, which I really like, because you can get it to move out of the way, which I really like. And as far as the stand test, doesn't take much to get Gohan to stand. He stands fine on his own. So for hands, here you go. Okay, and then you receive a singular hand, which I am thinking is to hold the Dragon Ball finder. Once you have that. Now, the pegs are extremely small, so not the easiest to get on. Sometime when you're pressing, they bend. But as you see, you can get it to work, and he holds this well. So unlike Superman, I believe the Dragon Ball Z figures fly with their hands in a fist instead of straight forward. So in order to get Gohan in a running pose, you're going to have to bend the body as much as you can. I have the torso extended, not sure if it's making a difference. Now here is where that ball peg hinge is going to come in handy. You can sort of pull the head out and get him to look forward that much. Not as good as I would like for it to be, but it sort of works. So let's put Gohan aside for a moment. And I'm hoping that this shows on camera. So this Dragon Ball has an awesome effect. Now when light shines through it, it glows. Hopefully as I'm turning it, you can see. Maybe if you can even look at, my hand, the light is reflecting off. So that is dope. Really like how they did that. Not sure how they did that, but there appears to be two small pieces that are glowing inside. I am really digging this. So for accessories, the part works well. The interchangeable face plates mesh on without a problem. The hair snaps in place. And once they're in place, they really appear to be seamless for the most part. The black certainly helps, as well as the additional scope in the hair. The hands work well, though the larger displayed out hands look way too big for this figure, and they're not the easiest to put on as the pegs are super small. As far as for the head, I think I see where Bandai was going. Not as good as where NECA is already, but a good attempt. For the torso, I am just a bit confused with the torso. That could have absolutely been done better. So for overall functionality, I'd be giving Gohan an 8 out of 10. So for pricing, Gohan comes in at $52. That's before taxes, that is before shipping. I was forced to pay $10 for shipping as it is an exclusive, add in taxes. I'm just gonna say $5. So round that till about $67. Now is Gohan worth the price of admission? First, let's see what he comes with. In terms of accessories, you get a decent spread. So the one glaring issue when it comes to accessories is the lack of included effect pieces, whether the ones that go behind him, on him, or act as some sort of fireball. Sort of feel like fireball isn't the right term, but here's what I'm talking about, these things. It's odd that you actually receive these with the model kits, and the model kits command a cheaper price point. So being that Bandai already has the tooling for these things, why not just include them? Even if it will add an extra few dollars to the cost of the figure. Because for me, that's just something that's missing. I want my Dragon Ball figures to have power effect pieces. I want them to be able to do Kamehamehas or whatever special they do in the anime. And that part of it is missing. In addition to that, this is such a small figure. Also, $52 for this figure feels like a lot because he is so small. To give you an idea of how small he is, here is a Marvel Universe 3.7, a 4-inch figure. And the 4-inch figure is about the same height, if not a little bit taller than Gohan. So for me, adequate pricing for this figure would have been around that $37 to $42 price point. So for pricing, I'll be giving this figure a 7 out of 10. That would give Gohan an overall Cliff score of. So now, is he a pass or a purchase? If you are collecting this line, this is a character that you probably would want, especially to fit in with your Dragon Ball figures if you are separating Dragon Ball from Dragon Ball Z. For me, I am not a fan of this Gohan. I truly can go without this version of Gohan. So as far as being a pass or a purchase, I surprised you there, it's going to be a purchase. It's pretty rare in an action figure line that you're able to follow generations of a character, to see them grow up and then be able to acquire their smaller versions, their teenage version, and adult versions. So that in itself is a cool thing. So here's a picture of Gohan by himself. I'm being lazy and holding the camera straight hand, so this is Super Saiyan Broly from the movie in his full powered mode. And here's Broly in his normal mode. I have several other Dragon Ball Z figures, but they're a bit hard to get to. So thank you for tuning in to Mr. Cliff's Toy Shop. I hope to see you during the next review.